Hi everyone, I'm Steve Hudson, Quality Assurance Manager here at Beauchard Industries. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join us for our yard hydrant webinar. It's really exciting for us to offer education in this way for our customers. We'll now pass it off to Will Bender.
Hello and welcome everybody to our webinar on yard hydrants. We're happy you decided to join us. My name is Will Bender. I'm the Quality Assurance Analyst here at Beauchard Industries, and backing me up I have Paul Erb, who is the Research and Development Manager. Feel free during the presentation to type out any questions that you have. We will do our best to answer all questions after the presentation. If you want to type out a question, you should see a sidebar on the right-hand side of your screen. If you click on the top button, which looks like an arrow in a box, it will open up a little menu with a question box in which you can type your questions and we will be able to see them. Please note the slide number if you are referencing a specific slide. The numbers will be displayed on the bottom right-hand side of the slide. In this presentation, we'll educate you on what a yard hydrant is, how they work, typical installation, and some features that we offer in our yard hydrants. Beauchard offers a standard import line that is comparable with most competitive units on the market, as well as the premium hydrant. This webinar is focused on the premium series. In order to differentiate between the two series, look for the unique markings that can identify the hydrant models. All Beauchard premium hydrants have the Beauchard BII logo cast directly into the head. The defining feature of the standard series is the water droplet on either side of the head. So let's start off with what exactly is a yard hydrant. Yard hydrants are frost-free. This means that they can still be operated in the winter when the temperature is below freezing, but there is no risk of freezing in the hydrant or in the service line, which would cause damage. Yard hydrants are just valves at a basic glance. They have a handle that operates the flow of water coming in and out of the hydrant. They are extremely popular for watering livestock, for outdoor hosing, and for gardening, all at a distance from the main water supply or the house. But how does a yard hydrant prevent freezing in below freezing temperatures? When the hydrant handle is opened, the connecting rod raises the plunger off of the valve seat. The raised plunger closes off the drain port and allows water to flow through the valve port past the plunger. The water then flows through flow channels, up the standpipe, and finally out of the discharge spout. When the hydrant handle is closed, the connecting rod lowers the plunger against the valve seat. This stops the water flow from the service line below the frost line where freezing does not occur. As the plunger is lowered against the valve seat, it opens the drain port and allows the water in the standpipe to drain back down and out of the drain port into the crushed stone drain bed. For proper draining to occur, air must be able to enter in through the spout. Attaching a hose or some other device to the spout can prevent air from getting in and therefore stopping the draining process. For this reason, a hose should never be left attached when freezing temperatures could occur. The time it takes to fully drain the standpipe is approximately 45 to 60 seconds for a 4-foot bury hydrant. Depending on the bury depth and the quality of the drain bed prepared, the drain time could take more or less time. When the standpipe is fully drained, only a very small volume of water remains in the valve body as shown by the arrow, all of which is below the frost line where there is no risk of freezing. All the water above the drain port opening is discharged into the crushed stone drain bed. Here at Beauchard Industries, we offer several benefits and features that create an easy-to-use hydrant. Each premium hydrant valve body is threaded onto a standpipe using a custom-made power torque wrench to ensure proper torque with precise alignment of the drain port on each and every hydrant. The hydrants are factory set, so they will not need to be adjusted before installing them. The yard hydrant valve bodies allow full flow from the service line past the plunger, and friction loss is minimalized because of a sweeping bend design in the head. Our models with a 3/4 inch discharge spout have a higher flow rate than some of the 1-inch high flow models on the market. This graph shows the results of flow rate testing done on each of Beauchart's yard hydrant series. You will notice that at 60 psi, each one of our yard hydrants will achieve more than 40 gallons per minute. Some industrial washdown applications require operation at 70 to 80 psi, and all of the Beauchart models can reach in excess of 50 gallons per minute at that pressure. Unlike some hydrants that dip the assembled hydrant in paint, our hydrant heads are colored using a baked-on powder coat paint before the hydrants are assembled. This means that none of the critical moving components of the hydrant are covered with the paint, which would make operation more difficult. Each hydrant is equipped with a 3/4 inch garden hose connection for convenient connection to garden hoses or vacuum breakers. The long hand grip handles are comfortable to use even while wearing heavy winter gloves, and each hydrant handle can be locked closed using a padlock with the hole in the handle. The heads have a locking thumb screw which will hold the handle in any position. This is perfect for regulating flow to a garden hose when full flow is not required, like watering plants. The pivot connector rotates in the drawstrap during operation. The circumference on Beauchart's pivot connector and drawstrap are significantly larger than some brands on the market. This reduces the rate of wear between the two components and can increase the life expectancy by 3 to 4 times. This is superior to most brands of hydrants, including our own standard model. Underneath the packing nut, there is a double O-ring seal between the hydrant head and the operating rod. This ensures a positive seal. This also means that there is no need to over-tighten the packing nut in order to get a proper seal. Over-tightening can result in breaking the O-rings. Just finger tightening the packing nut can seal up to 125 psi. If the O-rings do need to be replaced, they are an American Standard AS568-204 size, so they can easily be found at hardware stores. The operating rod in the head is made of polished stainless steel, which reduces wear on the double O-ring seal and has great corrosion resistance against the elements. Beauchart's offers 2 materials for the standpipes, galvanized and 304 stainless steel. The stainless steel will be more expensive, however, it is more corrosion resistant in aggressive soil and water applications. Be careful of some hydrant brands that don't have true ASTM specification pipe. Beauchart's uses true Sked 40 pipe for both premium and standard models, which can have up to 10% thicker wall. The valve body includes the drain port, which is responsible for the non-freeze hydrant. The leaded valve body hydrants are suitable for washdown applications or where the water won't be consumed. The non-leaded hydrants are a great choice for livestock and gardening or where the water could potentially be consumed. On all our no-lead yard hydrants, we use a longer valve body with longer female threads so that the standpipe threads are fully concealed inside the valve body when assembled. This feature, combined with rust-inhibiting compound on the threads, ensures optimum corrosion resistance for the galvanized pipe. As I had said, a benefit of the no-lead valve bodies is that the threads are made longer, so the threads of the standpipe are completely concealed, helping with corrosion resistance. As you can see, With the no-lead valve body, the full wall thickness is exposed to the soil, significantly increasing the life expectancy. The plungers seal positively against the angled valve body seat, and the cores are made from stainless steel for increased corrosion resistance. The Beauchard hydrants work on a smooth, straight pull system. This means that when operating the handle, the draw strap pulls the operating rod at 0 degrees vertically. This ensures that there is minimal wear on the operating components. When the handle is fully closed, the draw strap is 5 degrees over center, which allows system pressure to actually push down and remain closed. When fully open, the handle is 5 degrees over center again, so the system pressure pushes the handle to stay open. Something that is not very well known is that it does not take very much force to seal the plunger against the valve body seat. The hydrants are factory set to seal and will not require any adjusting before installation. Over the course of time, and parts inevitably wear, readjusting the plunger may need to be done. If that is the case, there's no need to dig the hydrant up. Adjustment and repair to the hydrant's internal components can be done above ground. Replacement parts are also available and interchangeable between all Beauchard premium models. The premium hydrants with a galvanized standpipe are covered by a 5-year warranty, and the premium hydrants with a stainless steel standpipe are covered by a 7-year warranty. Our standard YHS series hydrants are covered by our standard 1-year warranty. After 2017, the manufacturing date was added into the head casting as well for a quick and easy way to tell how old a hydrant is. Now, we'll go over some best practices for the install of these hydrants. This diagram shows a typical installation of the yard hydrants on a well system. They can also be installed on a municipal system. Make sure that the water line is flushed before install to remove any foreign particles. The prepared hole should be about 2 feet in diameter and must be below the frost line. A cement block or patio stone under the hydrant will stop the hydrant from settling. On the service line between the water system and the yard hydrants, it is recommended to install a dual check valve for backflow prevention. I will touch on this again in a little bit. Be sure that the hydrant valve body is installed below the frost line and that a significant amount of gravel, crushed rock, or some coarse material is below and around the valve body. This will permit proper drainage. Connect hydrant to water line by using appropriate fittings, elbows, and tees, which are all available through Beauchards. The purpose of a raised pad is so that the pipe and the clamps do not contact the cement blocks. When tightening the fitting, be sure to hold the valve body with a pipe wrench so that it does not screw further into the hydrant standpipe. This would change the factory adjustment of the plunger. The adjustment and repair instructions will be posted on the Beauchard U website. Each hydrant is packaged with installation instructions as well. Installation of a 90-degree street elbow installed in the 1/8 inch female pipe thread drain port will greatly reduce the chance of dirt getting into the port and blocking the drain. After installing, test to make sure that the line is flushed and that the hydrant is fully operational before backfilling. Failure to do so could result in an issue with the hydrant and will void warranty. Codes can vary widely depending on the state or province and local plumbing codes. I will give an example that is code in some jurisdictions, but it is still a good idea, even in areas where it is not required by code. A yard hydrant with a threaded spout to accept a garden hose needs to have an approved vacuum breaker installed. Approved vacuum breakers comply with the ASSE 1011 standard or the ASSE 1052 standard. These standards can be found stamped on all Beauchart vacuum breakers. It is very important to check with your local governing body to find the codes that apply to yard hydrants in your area. The use of a vacuum breaker will prevent back siphonage through the hydrant. The garden hose must be removed in order to allow the vacuum breakers to drain. Typical vacuum breakers need to be manually drained by moving the internal check valve from the bottom in order to allow air to enter. Not allowing enough time for the hydrant to drain can result in the hydrant freezing. The auto drain vacuum breakers eliminate the need to manually drain the hydrant. Just make sure that the hose is removed to allow the hydrant to drain. Siphoning is a phenomenon when a vacuum is created in the system. This can be from excess use, such as firefighting. The system will pull from open outlets. This would be dangerous if a hose is connected to a hydrant and is dunked in water with harmful organic matter or into a tank filled with a chemical solution. The siphoning can pull that liquid back into a system. For this reason, it is highly recommended that a backflow preventer is installed. A vacuum breaker attached to the hydrant, as shown in the picture, is a type of backflow prevention. Another type would be a backflow preventer such as a phlegmatic dual check valve backflow preventer. There are some codes that require a backflow preventer, like the phlegmatic check valve. As I had said previously, Beauchart's does carry a standard import option for a more competitive model. We also carry accessories that can be used with hydrants, such as hydrant elbows, street elbows, vacuum breakers, and more. That is the end of the presentation today. You can learn more about the features we offer at Beauchart's, as well as other useful information on plumbing and water well products. Stay connected with us by following Beauchart Industries on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook to see any upcoming blogs or webinars. We regularly publish new blogs and content that will help you become more comfortable and confident with our products. Thank you.
Okay, we have our first question here. What are the main features that set the premium hydrant apart from the standard hydrant and other manufacturers? Paul Erb is going to answer this question.
Okay, just get my thoughts together here on the fly. The first thing to keep in mind that when comparing other hydrants, they're not all made equal, so some are definitely better than others. And the standard model that we offer, I would say it's bridging the gap between a lot of the brands on the market and our premium hydrant. If you were to study the features, you would see that a lot of the good quality features that are in our premium hydrant are also incorporated into the standard model. With that said, to give you just a few key points that I think are important, the one would be the straight pull on the 304 stainless steel operating rod. We have never had any issues with bent or worn operating rods, which is a common complaint we hear about other brands. They have problems with that due to the significant side pull that they have during the operation of the handle, which causes a lot more apt to be scratched as it goes through the packing nut, etc. Another would be superior wear resistance that Will touched on. The lifespan, due to the design of the straw straps and the pivot connectors, reduce the wear rate and reduces the frequency at which adjustments or repairs need to be made. Corrosion resistance is huge. The linkage in hardware All our components are stainless steel, brass, or the steel components are double zinc plated prior to assembly. So not only do the hydrants look great from the start, you're going to see a lot more longevity out of those corrosion-proof dip than versus dip painting that Will mentioned. Another good feature on these, and it's something that the Beauchart hydrants don't have, and what we don't have is graphite packing. And that graphite packing is extremely difficult and laborsome to replace, so our O-rings are a big feature. Oh, going on from that, the large heavy-duty handles that we touched on. Ranchers and farmers alike, they love the premium hydrant for its handle. And as Will mentioned, the fact that those handles are forced to keep the hydrant closed under system pressure is a very significant thing that you'll find. You would notice on some competitors' hydrants that they would actually state that you have to over-tighten the packing to give enough resistance to hold the hydrant in the closed position. So those would be kind of a few points that I would say are key to set our hydrants apart.
Okay, we have another question. How long will it be before I need to adjust or repair my hydrant? There again, Paul's going to answer this question.
Okay, that's a difficult one there to give a timeline on. It has nothing to do with how many years it is installed, but rather on the frequency at which that handle is used. You can have instances where the hydrants are only used a couple times a week or something like that, and we may go 10 years versus something that's being used consistently over and over, and you may find that it could be 3 years. So it varies widely depending on the use. What we can say is that you're going to find that it's probably 3 to 4 times less in frequency to have to do adjustment on a premium series than on a standard or most other models, due to the large wear resistance in the pivot connector and the draw straps that Will mentioned.
Okay, we have one more question here. You mentioned bury depth. What does this mean, and how much of the hydrant is above the ground? Will Bender is going to answer this question.
So the bury depth is how far below the surface that the valve body is, and you need to know the frost line, how deep that is in the ground when selecting a hydrant. So if your frost line is 4 feet below the ground, you want to select a hydrant that is at least a 4-foot bury. And how much of the hydrant is above ground? With our premium series, we like to see 22 inches. So our 4-foot bury hydrant would actually be about 6 feet long, with that 4 feet below the surface and then that extra 22 inches above ground. And if you want to select a longer hydrant to get extra space above the ground, you can also do that. You just have to add however many feet that you want to the selection that you're making.
Okay.
Oh, just to add to that, our standard series hydrants would be about 6 inches shorter. So that again is another benefit of the premium hydrant that I didn't mention before. With that one there, you would have, instead of 22 inches from the ground to the spout, you would have 16.
Okay, that's it for questions. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you.